How's it going, you guys? It's Scott with Everyday Home Repairs. Now, LED recessed lights, and specifically the super thin wafer lights, can be a great upgrade to pretty much any living space. They're cost effective, easy to install, and give your home a modern look. But there is a major drawback that you need to consider before installing these in your home to make sure you can avoid time-consuming and costly repairs down the road. So let's jump into it. So first things first, let's just look at how would we actually remove these. So whether we need to service them or maybe we wanted to actually change the color or Kelvin scale. Usually you're just going to pull down and you'll have two spring-loaded tabs. You'll focus at one at a time. Press the tab back, be careful not to make any drywall damage, and then once you have the one done, you pretty much can slide the other one out without any issue. Now you're probably going to have a seal here, so make sure that's not bound up. This one got a little deformed when it was originally installed. And then you'll have a pigtail. Some of the pigtails will have your Kelvin scale built in, so you can make adjustments from here, and some of those will actually be within the junction box. Usually the junction box is designed such that you can just reach up into your ceiling and pull that out through the same hole that you cut to install your wafer light. So then you can access your junction box for any wiring issues that you might have. You can access this without getting up in the ceiling because you're not always going to have access. And then to reinstall, you're just going to do the same thing. Again, be careful not to touch your ceiling. Usually there's going to be a flat white paint on your ceiling, so if you have dirty hands and you're touching it, you're going to smudge that up and it's not going to wipe off. And here's an example why you need to be paying attention to where you have that slider set on the Kelvin scale. I have probably 3,000-ish Kelvin on these warm yellow recessed lights, and then in the middle you see more of a bluer tint that's probably closer to 5,000. So I'm going to go up there and make adjustments in the attic, and then hopefully we'll get everything looking the same. All right, so up in the attic I can see I'm slid all the way up. It's actually on the 5,000 Kelvin, and I have the other one set to the 3,500, which is the third setting, or right in the middle of the range. And now we can confirm in the room everything is set to the same level, so that's why you need to pay attention on your slider to make sure you have everything set correctly. So what's the big issue, and why do some people call these a scam when it comes to the integrated LEDs? Well, really now you have zero serviceability. And although LED light bulbs themselves can last up to 50,000 hours or more, so depending on how much you're actually using that light fixture, that could last for decades and decades. There are more components on that fixture than just the LED, the light emitting diode. There's drivers and other circuitry that can fail, and I personally have had about 5 different failures of integrated LED light fixtures. I've had a fan failure, I've had exterior light failures, and recessed lighting failures like this. So any failures at a minimum will result in you changing one of those light fixtures. And in many cases, 5 years or 10 years down the road, when you have a failure, you might have to not only change one out, but now if that brand or design is not available, and if you did not plan ahead, you might have to change out multiple fixtures or all of your fixtures, and that's a scenario I have on my exterior lights. They have integrated LEDs and a very unique design, so if I don't plan ahead, I'm going to have to change out all my exterior lights as soon as I have one fail, or I'm just going to have a dead light sitting on the side of my house. So I'm just planning ahead now and trying to identify the brand and model number so I can get those on order and make sure I have extras. Let me show you a few tips to make that easier so you don't waste hours and hours looking through the home improvement stores to try to find a match. So to match up, if you had recessed lights and you have access, I'm just up in the attic, you'll see a nameplate or a model plate. So you just take a picture of that for your records. Also, if you can't find much on the back there, look inside the junction box. Sometimes it's on the outside, but other times you'll find it on the inside here where you're looking for the brand and the model number and any additional information so you can go ahead and get those on order. And then like this exterior light fixture, if you can't really easily see the brand or model number, there is another quick tip that's going to save you a ton of time to find the exact match. But all of this is in an effort to save you time and money. And overall, we've been focusing on maintenance and repairs for the overall pie chart of what your monthly cost is for owning a home. But now we're also focusing on another slice of that pie, and that is homeowners insurance. 2 different ways we're doing that. First, we're crowdsourcing your guys' feedback through a survey where there's a link in the description, or you can click on this QR code and you go in and fill out information on your own policy. What is your premium? what's your deductible, what are you carrying for liability, and then we'll send you a custom report on your own state so you can compare your coverage to all of your peers. And then secondly, we're stitching together a network of independent insurance agents that will be your advocate and go shop for the best coverage and best rate for you. So not only can they help you try to get the lowest price, but also the coverage is super important. Currently, you could be underinsured or missing parts of your policy. For instance, if your basement floods, you might not be covered right now. So you really need to check your coverage and also the price. So let me jump back in and show you how to use your phone to quickly identify those type of light fixtures where you can't find the brand or model number. So what you can do with your smartphone is, if you have the Google app, this is the easiest way. You can also take an image and do this on your desktop, but there's a small icon up here which is your camera. So if Google has access to your camera, you can take an image here, or you can upload an image where it will actually take that light fixture. It will do a search based off of that image to find you your exact match. Now you can take some measurements and then check those specifications, also check the color, but this is going to save you literally hours and hours of time to get the exact match, especially when you have unique fixtures such as this. And as always, I want your feedback down in the comments below the video. Do you think integrated LEDs are kind of the best thing to happen to the lighting industry, or more of the worst thing to happen? Personally, I don't love that we're losing choices. If you go to the big box store, you're gonna see about 90% of light fixtures are integrated LEDs, and we're just losing the choices to have fixtures that actually have light bulbs that we can swap out. Now, when it comes to recessed lights, those are just going to be integrated LEDs, and you can check out this video right here where I do a full transformation of a living room that had no ceiling lights at all, where I actually installed recessed lights and made a complete difference on that living space. But on things like fans and the fan install right here, I go with light bulbs. I don't want to change the whole fan fixture if the light goes out, as it's an integrated LED. I want the ability to service that. So thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll catch you on one of those next ones. Take care.